I'm gonna hit this real quick and then I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk about pressure, just like pressure in general. Watch this if you're about to relapse. Like, if you're like on the verge of relapsing right now, y'all know what I'm talking about when it comes to like porn or bitches or whatever it is you want to do. Maybe it's like a cigarette, like, or like even like video games or smoking. This is something like I kind of learned over the years. I love the pressure. Like, I love the pressure build up. You know, it's like you have energy and it wants to flow. If you want to relapse, like if you want to beat your meat, the energy wants to flow like out your dick, basically. Or if you want to smoke, it wants to flow through the cigarette. If you want to play the game, it wants to flow through your fingers. It wants to flow through your brain onto the virtual screen. And relapse is a relief of pressure. Gonna do 7 more pull-ups. But yeah, and it's like, so let me tell you about my story. I didn't really start improving myself doing NoFap until 2020. I was 20 years old at the time. Actually, maybe like 2018, 2019. Discovered some YouTubers, discovered some books, and I would just, you know, start looking at holding in my seed. Well, you can imagine how that went. You have a guy who's been doing this since he was like maybe 10. And then, oh, I see my buddy. I'll catch you, man.
All right, bye.
Yeah. You gotta make friends, guys. Friends are awesome, but yeah, I would. You imagine how that went. Doing that shit since I was like 10. Now I'm like 20, 18. 8 years of every time I'm stressed, you know, or just wanting to see some cheeks get clapped on, I would hop on the hub, grab the Vaseline and get to work, you know, but it's like I stopped. And like, it was difficult. You know, it was new. Some chicks looking at me, I know that chick. But still, I stopped. And then I would start again. Do some pull-ups. I would start again. And then I would stop, and then I'd start again, and then I'd stop. And I'd start again and stop. And every time I relapsed that action was a manifestation of me not being able to take the pressure buildup that was building up within me and then releasing it. Every time I released that pressure, I'd feel like shit. I would get depressed, I'd have negative thoughts. The trajectory of my life, the aura of my life just felt worse. And so I pondered, I'm like, I used to do this every day of my life and I never experienced this negativity. But now that I would go on a streak and relapse, now I feel the negativity. And then it clicked, okay, negativity is relative. I was a piece of shit all the time. All the time. So when I was less of a piece of shit and elevated, and I relapsed and I go back down, I felt the difference. I felt the drop. And when you look at your life, you see every relapse you do, you will feel a drop. If you want to stop something and you know something's ruining your life and you try to stop and then you go back to it, which you inevitably will, if you're self-aware enough and you pay attention enough, you'll notice that you will feel it drop. Okay, I'm gonna do a muscle up. I'm gonna butcher this shit, but it is what it is. Oh, that was terrible. But I'm not gonna edit that out. Whew. But where am I going with this? You start to love not feeling the drop. You start to love not feeling like shit. When you do this long enough, you will be like, man, I love the feeling of not feeling like shit. You guys think I don't relapse, like I don't play games? I'm not gonna act like I don't. I just have more women, so it's like I don't need to do that. Even then, it's like I still do things that are bad for me from time to time. But in comparison to average people, I'm far more productive, active, and successful. More importantly, in comparison to my previous self, I'm far more productive, successful, and confident, and put together and focused. And I couldn't be more proud of myself, and you need to give yourself that. But with all that being said, so I don't go off on a tangent, I know I'm breathing like fuck on the mic right now. It's like, I love the pressure because the pressure keeps me from dropping into hell. It keeps me from dropping into the state of feeling low, and to the point at which like my dopamine just pretty much like drops, and to the point at which like I hate myself. I don't hate myself, but like the feeling I get after relapse, and I'm just like, the next day, like my mental health and my psychology just drops. And it's like, the better you get at things, when you make a mistake or relapse, the more you will feel the effect of it. And that effect in and of itself is like a push factor away from the bad habits. So that's one. And number two, it's like, the pressure is like a journey. You know, it's like my life will get boring without the pressure. Like my life has no meaning without pressure. Staying in the midst of pressure is a gift. And I wouldn't really like develop that skill unless I really knew how to stay in the midst of suffering and pain. I'm gonna do a pull-up right here, do some chin-ups. I need a 45 plate without staying in the midst of pain and suffering. Freaking, my bad, y'all. Ran out of storage. You know, I'm making videos and shit, but stand in the midst of pain. Like, that's just like, if you got your feelings hurt, if you hurt, or like you just like having a mental breakdown, bro, just feel that shit. Like, if you a man, just feel that shit. Like, don't even close your heart to it. That's the way to superior man. That's one of the chapters. You know, don't close your heart in the midst of pain. I think that's probably like the second chapter. It's a really important lesson. But aside from that, pressure just like, fuck all the whole cheesy, pressure will grow you, and pressure is what creates a diamond, blah, blah, blah. Like, nigga, that life just makes life exciting. Like, I've relapsed so many times. Like, I've gone through the motions so many times in my life that like, and you just gotta do that sometimes, you know? Sometimes, like, I'm not saying relapse right now, but it's like, it takes you falling on your ass so many times to make you understand how to value pressure. And the rate at which you will realize that will determine on the education you give yourself. That's why I say, like, read books, you know? You gotta read books and you gotta educate yourself. Let me do some more pull-ups. Like, honestly, let me just wait till I'm done. Like, honestly, if I didn't have the pressure right now, because obviously I feel like beating in some cheeks right now, but if I didn't have that pressure, I wouldn't be out here recording this video. Especially because I like to be private with my videos. Especially because it's dark out and it's dinner time. Especially I just got done doing a whole bunch of tests and running PT and hitting the gym earlier. And it was legs. It's like, I just want to sit down, but because of that pressure, it's like I'm obligated to stand up. Like I'm doing things. Like I'm doing this. You know, that's the point. Like the notion that you're not supposed to feel pressure is actually like, I think it's like an anti-human, anti-life notion. It's like, what on this earth isn't pressurized? Anything in the environment is pressure. Animals feel pressure to eat. They keep the ecosystem running. Bees feel pressure to pollinate. They pollinate. You know, plants, they feel pressure to grow. They grow. Everything in life is working through pressure. And it's like, you won't work without pressure. So keep your damn pressure. Keep your seed, bro. Keep the nut in the tank. You know, keep the cigarette out your mouth. Get your mind going. Learn how to stay afloat on the sea of chaos. Allow the chaos of your mind to just flow. Allow it to flow and make you go fucking crazy and learn to be. Once you can learn how to stop fighting the chaos in your mind and just allow it to flow, allow the insecurities and everything to flow and listen to it, you'll understand your dark side, and then you can use that to further understand yourself and fuel your success. Like, I understood so much about my own insecurities as a man, because when I stopped doing the fapping, I realized what fapping was making me run from. I realized what I was escaping from. And when I was exposed to what I was escaping from, almost immediately I'm thrown into chaos. So it's like a pseudo panic. But it's like, then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna run from my pain. I'm just gonna feel my pain. And that pain taught me lessons. That pain taught me how to be. Like, a lesson I learned is like, it's actually okay to have a shitty day. It's okay to have a shitty week. It's okay to have a shitty month. Hell, it's okay to have a shitty year. Like, it's okay for things to just be shitty. But what I don't think is okay for me is to live a life like without pressure. I think that's like not okay. And I'm at the point now where it's like, if I don't, I get pretty nihilistic. And nihilism is hell. I think that the absence of hope is depression. You know, it's the absence of, hell is the absence of God. And like, what is God even? Well, if you look at any civilization, God has always just been a marker for aiming upward. That's all God has ever been in society. It's just a marker for aiming up. You have a benevolent figure who dictates order in a society, and it's for the hopes of that society doesn't breed a race of shitbags, at least to each other. Not a race of shitbags, a group of shitbags. But it's just like, hell is the absence of a reticle towards a goal. It's suffering without purpose. You suffer either way in this world. It's like, if you're gonna suffer with a purpose, well, relieve yourself of pressure, because even after you relieve yourself from pressure, you're gonna suffer, because you're gonna suffer by obeying the verdicts of an anti-human doctrine, of going against life itself, of going against the natural order of life, which is pressure. I mean, that's the gym in a nutshell. It's just pressure. Like, it's just staying present through pressure. You send your muscles to Helheim. You experience the pressure. And I come back for it every day. Pressure gives life meaning. And having meaning in life is more important than being relieved of pressure. Now, I'm not gonna act like all this knowledge is gonna make you not relapse again, or me not relapse again. Hell, you know, I probably will. But instead of it being every day like it was 3-4 years ago, it's gonna be like once a month, twice a month. And it's like, I don't need to be a fucking Buddhist monk or any of these fake YouTubers who say that they haven't done it in a year, or maybe they have, but at least it's better than what it used to be. More pull-ups. Like, I felt pressure today. So I said, let me just come out here and make a video. How long is this? It's a long ass video. I think I'm gonna cut it here. It's a bit too long. So, but with that being said, go ahead, go crazy, go stupid. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.